Hey, hello everyone. Welcome to Archilly 9505. First stream for a while. Sort of ill health. So we're back with Wheelspin Racing League tonight, and this is going to be round 16 of the season. We are at Australia, just like we've done in real life. And Bob tries to match it up as best he can when he can. So they're doing the same races in real life, and that's what we're doing today. So this one is a short qualifying, followed by sorry, a short qualifying followed by sprint race, followed by 50% race. Um, so it should be good. So as you can see on your screen, that's a short qualifying 10 lap sprint race, 29 lap 50 is 50% race around here. Difficult track, Australia. Shouldn't really be. I mean, I think it's just difficult to drive alongside others around here. I think that's what makes it difficult. Let's be honest. If you're a Formula One fan of the game, then you've been driving this track for a long, long time. Obviously, slight changes, but for this season. But yeah, you've been driving it a long, long time now, so you should all be used to it. I think it's just difficult, as I say. It's a street track, so it's difficult to drive alongside. Thanks, Ollie. Ollie champ. Um, I'm sure that's not true though, Ollie. Grez is brilliant. He's a superb streamer, so I'm sure he's amazing. I got a big Newcastle shout from Daguna. Does that mean my team's going to goal up? It does indeed, and it's Joe Willock, assisted by St. Maximin. That's what I like to see. It's always nice when you don't have to rely on the same goal scorer every week. Yeah, I won a lot. Yeah, I just had a quick look there, Daguna. Thank you for that. I didn't notice they scored, but yeah, fantastic. Must be some result for them if they could take the 3 points there. And yeah, Grez's good. Just not hilly. Well, no, he's not hilly, but he's yeah, he is good. I like doing co-coms with Grez actually. I've not always been a commentator that likes you know, I like being on my own really. I'm not a massive fan of having a co-coms. I know I've done it a little bit with Clem recently, but on PRF1. But yeah, but Grez is definitely one of the few I'm quite happy for its join whenever. So, so big news for myself. As of tomorrow night, so Monday night. Um, I'm sorry to HRF1, but it means I have stopped driving in HRF1 on Monday nights now. You know, one season, won a constructors title. I felt that was enough, you know. So I've no, I was basically approached and invited to join a commentary team in another league. When I saw the size of the league, I couldn't really say no. It's well over 500 members in the league. So as of tomorrow night, 8 p.m., I will be commentating. For the rest of the season, I'll be commentating on Division 6 in GRL. Um, Incredible league, actually. There's 7 F1 divisions. 6 of them are on Monday nights at 8 p.m. And the 7th one, which is their top division, is also on Monday nights. It's just half hour later at 8:30. Goodness knows how to do that. I'm about to find out, I guess, tomorrow night. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. But looking forward to that. And we're at France tomorrow night. So just getting close to the go. Well, in fact, it is 6 o'clock, so it is the go time. I don't know if we're just waiting for someone. Looks like I can't see it properly at the top there, but I think it says 19 drivers. Um, so, well, Golden Tornado, if you're listening, buddy, you need to pick your team. You usually have to stream on, so. Yeah, thanks, Ollie. Yeah, it was nice to be approached by someone, to be honest. He actually messaged me on Xbox, and I was a little bit hesitant, but, you know, they said about joining on Discord, so I sort of joined and had a little look around their Discord, and was rather shocked by the size of it, to be honest with you. I couldn't quite believe it. There's 7 F1 divisions. I think they got F2 rally. Well, all sorts of things going on. But yeah, how they how they run it so that all the divisions are at the same time on the same night, I don't know. But and all of them are streamed as well. So well, now that I'm there to be able to do Division 6, that means all of them will be streamed. One bit may be missing tomorrow night because one of the commentators isn't very well. But sorry, it's my dad in the background just demonstrating what it means to not be very well. You see, having a good old cough. That was good timing. So we getting ready and up. I'm sure we were expecting the 20th. I'm sure. I think somebody's not turned up, unfortunately. But obviously, what I'm also hoping, though, guys, is that with joining a league with that many members, I know only really the guys that I'm whose division I'm commentating on need to sort of follow me in that. But hopefully, with that many members, get a good amount of follows, and overall, that might help the streams for the other leagues I do as well. So, it's all. Hopefully, we'll get more numbers. Like it's yeah, looking forward to it anyway. See how we get on. So, just say, guys, it's the first stream for over a week. Do apologise about that, particularly for you guys who subscribe. And the content's not been there, but unfortunately, I have been unwell. I've had flu this week, so I just haven't been able to do it. I've been in bed all day, every day, pretty much all week, so just not been able to do it. But I'm back. I'm not 100% yet, I've got to be honest, but getting there. So here we go into the short qualifying session then. Really difficult for me to pick drivers out in. Oh, Ghost Rider has joined. Does that? Oh no, he's already on the list. So I thought he was going to be the 20th, but yeah, it's really difficult in this league for me to. Oh, I think it's raining as well. Is that going to mini intermediates, or is it still dry enough? Because it's very light rain. There's somebody on the way. Well, whoever it is, nobody's changed from intermediate. Oh, yes, they have. Glad's is just stuck on a set of softs. And it just looked. Well, I've only got the view at the moment from the commentary box, and with the pit lane. I mean, oh no, it is. No, it's way too wet. No, Glad's it is way too wet. So, Blit Gang, as I've begun to call him. I think it's Black Phoenix Gang or something like that, but I hope he doesn't mind. I'll keep calling him Blit Gang. If he doesn't like it, if you don't like it, Blit Gang, you can always give me a DM and let me know. Could you please call me this or whatever, and that's to say for all the drivers, if you ever get your name wrong or anything like that, let me know I'm doing it wrong. Just DM me and tell me what to call you, and I'll do my best to remember. Oh, okay. Rain forecast for the. Okay, Mr. Heatgang. So, am I understanding that right? We're expecting rain in qualifying, sprint, and the 50% race, so all the way through. That's how I'm reading that. Not an easy track. I've got to be honest. It's not easy at the best of times. It's a track we're all used to, but it's not one renowned for bad weather. So, it'll make it interesting, to be honest. Here comes Blit Gang. Let's just do the hilly hot lap with him then. So we head down to turn 1. In the dry, usually down to 5th for turn 1. Maybe short shifting up to 6th on the exit. But obviously in this weather, usually about a gear lower. And down to the. Oh, well, it's not really a hairpin, is it? It's more than 90 degree, but. He's down a second for that one, over into the wall. And our first driver out on track has paid the price already. He's into the wall, and the wheel is, well, I think it's caught between the right wheel and the chassis there, but there he goes. Flip gang then. He's out of qualifying. Actually, no idea he was second out of track. That would teach me for not having a backup, wouldn't it? Okay, Sunrise has just crossed the line to start a hot lap, so let's go with them. Yes, hello Atom. Yeah, look at it now. Oh, excellent. Okay, rain all the way through for a sprint race at Australia. That's going to be tough. Hey Atom, yeah, I've already been advertising, buddy, as well. So I've been telling them all about it. I'm looking forward to it. Really on. Fables here, then goes quickest, 125.4. I'll tell you what, Atom, actually, this because I know your top division in GRL is very quick, and this league is also very quick. Obviously, you're not going to, with the weather being what it is, you're not going to get necessarily the best view of that. Bobby's stuck on a set of softs. Now, it don't look like it's dry enough for that for me. It's, just looking down the order, we've got one or two of the really quick ones missing tonight, I must admit, but there's still so many of them. It's incredibly quick league. Lads into the pits. This is where I can't find anybody on a hot lap to watch. Well, we'll go with what's that say? SPK, by the way, Devil? I have absolutely no idea. That's definitely a new driver. They've been validated in a way, so let's go on to Maxwell. Max. He's changed his name as well. His name Max Van Beest. That was Maxwell Van Beest. Take 1 week off, and I got all sorts of new names and name changes and stuff going on. Well, Bobby's out on softs. I think that's optimistic. Just come around to complete an outlap. Let's see if he actually carries on onto a hot lap or not. Bobby, yeah. Looks way too wet, but he's happy enough to carry on. He's got Glads to switch to. He's got Glads to switch to a set of softs as well. These are very good drivers, by the way. So these two, so they usually know what they're doing. But I suppose it's good for us actually, because it should give us some idea of what the sort of difference is. I have to admit, it's a long time since I did Australia myself, so I'm not. I can't quite remember what you'd usually expect for a sort of pole position time around here. To be honest, it's quite a long time ago I last did it. So I'm in the dry, I mean, I put, you know, sort of air. So those intermediate times actually look quite quick to me. 25.4, fastest at the moment. Abel's here. That seems quite quick for an intermediate time, so... Oh, perhaps the track is pretty close. Don't look it, but... So you can see he's having to be very careful, and looking at the time as he comes onto the straight, he's not going to be anywhere near the top time. All the oversteer happened, but saved it. But yeah, as you can see, good 3 seconds off of the current provisional pole time. Let's go down to someone else then. Van Beest has invalidated again. Let's see across the line at a 129.3. Golden Tornado likely to be one of our top qualifiers usually. Cruises into turn 1, nicely done. Stays in 5th. He's off track. It hasn't invalidated him, but he will have had to come off the power for that to not invalidate. Well, not to spin in these conditions, but so not likely to be on his best lap here. Okay, yeah, that's it's a corner. I must admit that chicane, I'm finding that a lot easier. Is it a chicane or an S-bend? No, I suppose that's an S-bend actually. But yeah, I'm finding that a lot easier on this year's game than I have in previous years. I don't know why. That new corner though, that's what I don't like. That new corner, the way that's you know, well, it's not a new corner. It was always there, but it's they've changed it. The way the curve sticks out now, I don't. Oh! He saves it. Well done, nice save. It's gonna be a lot of that. It's gonna be wet all the way through. Here comes Golden Tornado, in away it goes P5 on a 25.8. It's really tight at the top there. Fastest is almost 20. Well, it's 25.4, but it's almost 24.55, and Tornado there just 3/10 off of that. And then Winter Place as well, 25.8 as well. So, oh, that was Golden Tornado, wasn't it? He's just had a bit of a. No, it's not, is it? It just looked like Tornado. So we got Speak by the Way, Devil. I think that's what that is. He's out. We've lost 2 drivers so far, but at least what am I going to call him? I'm just going to have to call him Devil, I think. I don't even know if it's Devil. It might be Devi. I'll call him SPK. SPK. There's another new driver for me, Lewis Bauer. That's a better name. At least I can say that one. Yeah, I'll take a little look at the championship in a bit. We do it's probably pretty close. It's this is invalidated. Why am I watching this? It would have been a 32-2. Bob Dylan currently down at the back. Hasn't got some on the board yet. Can he get one on the? So this is our boss man of the league, who owns Wheelspin Racing. I've known for a long time. It's season 8. Clearly backed out of that one. No, coming round to. Not so much backed out. I think he's actually just on an outlap. So let's just stick with him. So let's try the hilly hot lap with Bob Dylan tonight then. So here we go. Hilly hot lap. Come down to turn 1. So in these conditions, we're going to be down to 4 if I expect. Well, as far down as 3rd. It all depends on what assist drivers use. I think if you know traction like myself, you're probably going to be more likely to use 4th. Down there. There's Chespin's also retired from the session. Down to 2nd, then through the right, then left. Look at a decent exit there. Usually flat out through here, of course, but not in these conditions. You've got to lift. And down to 4th, I would imagine, for this right-hander. Send it round into the new part of the track. Obviously aids a lot to overtaking, even though it's not a DRS zone. I guess because of the slight curves in the road, it can't be. You know, despite it not being a DRS zone, it definitely lends an opportunity for overtaking. Got a lot of corner there in the first part of the S, and that has invalidated. Let's see if we can find someone to carry the lap on, shall we? Anybody around that area? Where are you? Oh no, you're at the end of the lap. There we go. So that was an outlap. It would be, wouldn't it? Ah, they're both on outlaps. Can you believe that? Well, I'll tell you what. We'll just complete the lap here anyway. So we're heading down to where we saw Bob Dylan invalidate. So these conditions, well, Golden Tornado's going through there in 6th. I think that's a bit optimistic. 5th's probably a better gear to use through there. Um, People do like to use the higher gears though in these conditions, I suppose, because of the extra traction they provide. Down to 3rd for the right-hander. It's a late turn in because of the way the curb sticks out. Allows you to get on the power better. The very quick right-hander down to the slow left-hander that takes you into the final corner. Traction is always low around here, even in the dry. And the higher you have your front wing, the trickier you're going to find it. So that completes a lap. It's Golden Tornado going on to his actual hot lap. Yeah, maybe Atom, and they don't want to risk losing it, maybe, in these conditions, but I would have said it was probably a good idea to get some practice in while the weather's like this, if it's going to... The Heat Gang's told us it's going to be like this quite possibly throughout the whole race, of both the sprint and the main feature race, so you think they'd want to get a bit of running on it. If it'd been Australia, any practice they've done, I'd imagine, has probably been in a dry. I can't imagine too many people would be practicing wet Australia, really. And this is looking like a much better lap already from Tornado. See, just using a tiny bit of curb on the inside of that right-hander, but not very much. Definitely don't use any there, not in these conditions. And remember back when I first started playing the F1 games, the rule was generally do not touch the curb if it's wet. You can get away with it back a bit now these days. But there we go, that's fastest then. 25-1 from Golden Tornadoes. Just raised the bar slightly. It's quite clearly a lot of drivers that are capable of doing the same. It's very tight. Winter Place, going by his name, you'd think he'd love these conditions. Sorry, that's terrible, that's a horrendous joke, isn't it? But, you know, they don't pay me enough to come up with good jokes, so you have to put up with those ones. Winner Place for the final corner. How's he managed? 25.8 is PB, and this is a 25.5, improves by 3 tenths up to P4. Nice improvement. One of the drivers he jumps ahead of, actually, Chespin, is out, so it's one place he definitely won't lose. As well. Necessarily their final runs. I was about to say probably on their final runs now, but actually no. Could potentially have another go on the next lap. Obviously they're using their energy here, so I think for someone like Max here, this is likely to be his final run. See, he's got about 50% energy left, so technically, yeah, no reason, as long as he's got the fuel, he'll definitely carry on and have another go. Here he comes to the line then. Looks decent, goes P7, improves by just over 3.5 tenths. Sorry, goes P5 in fact. Graphic in the top right was lying to me. Gary has only just started a lap. Let's try and find someone a bit further round. Baz is on softs. He's having a go, but he's 3 seconds down. Again, very early in the lap. Anybody... Still quite early in the lap, but let's just go with it. As he helps us out with his weather forecast for us. Yeah, no, I don't know Atom. He does usually come out and qualify. I don't know why he's choosing not to. Oh, really? Tyrannical Teapot. Well, that's probably why it's just been beaten then by 24.9 by Poundland. That's a bargain of a lap, isn't it? So, just for the others in chat, trying to call Teapot is Golden Tornado. So, the Heat Gang comes to the line then, 26.5, improves by 8 tenths. That moves him up to P11. That's a nice lap from Heat Gang. Baz clearly finding out that it is not ready for softs as he comes out of the gravel pit. Oh, Gary has a spin. I think that was on the last inch attempt though. I think he'd already done his PB on the previous lap, so he's currently sat in P3, so Gary doing nicely indeed. He's into place, improving. Very, very careful through there. Gary, we don't like this. Well, he might have crashed for all I know, but... Oh yeah, no, I think he did crash. His car on the track map is not moving. Lewis is spinning around on the line by the looks of it. For the line. Straight him on for him, maybe. Oh, Hazer is round. The end of that lap. Hang on, driver come in. Oh, retired from a session. I don't like people retiring on track, please. So it's a pet hate of mine. Don't like seeing that. There are other drivers still on laps, and your car will continue on for a bit. Don't like seeing it, even if it is ghosting on. I don't think it's right. Ghost Rider heading for the line. 26.7 improves by just over a tenth and a half. That's P13 for Ghost Rider. That's a decent quality for Ghost Rider. Well done to him. Yeah. Well, Sunrise put a lap on the board, but he should have been out earlier for a bit of practice because he's not done a good lap. But Poundland in a fantastic pole position, so congratulations to him. Beat Pip's Golden Tornado to it, who advises us he didn't put his best lap in. He didn't realise it was short quali. But yeah, if it's a sprint race, buddy, it's always short quali on sprint races. So Gary P3, fantastic. Abel's here P4, always up there or thereabouts. Same for Winter's Place, he's always somewhere up there. Maxwell Van Beest, very nicely in P6. Chespin in P7. Bobby in 8th. Lewis Bauer in 9th. Hazer in 10th. Baz P11, despite having to go on a softs at the end. Did get an intermediate time in previously. Heat Gang in 12. Ghost Rider 13. SPK 14. I'm going to run out of time. Check out Sunrise, Glads, someone else is someone else. And we'll head into the sprint race in Australia, which is only a short sprint race, 10 laps. Yeah, Glads. Well, that's him. I believe it's sort of, well... Well, this is the sprint race. It looks dry, and I was led to believe for Mr. Heat Gang that it was going to be wet all the way through from start to finish. So either the weather's changing, or it's or Mr. Heat Gang needs to practice his meteorology. Yeah, Glads. If that was a genuine attempt in qualifying, I have to say that in the time that I have known you, that actually has to be your worst ever qualifying performance. No offence by that, but it must be. So, well, it's dry, isn't it? So I would imagine everybody's on medium tyres. Nobody should be on softs, and just double checking that they're all on mediums. Dreading somebody trying to use softs because they won't get there. They won't make it. I think they make it to lap 8. They begin to absolutely dilapidate, and then, or sorry, lap 9 is it? And then on the final lap they tend to blow up. I can't remember. It's either lap 8 and then lap 9 they blow up, or lap 9 and then lap 10 they blow up. It's yeah. Just to see Poundland from the front. For all I know, Poundland may be a prolific pole position getter, but that's his first pole position as far as I know in WRL, so see, massive congratulations on that. Rain towards the end. Okay. There we go, and then I assume rain in the main race then. So, So sprint race, it literally is just a sprint, mediums all the way through to the end. Hope everybody survives that one, really. A few disqualifications popping up. Bobby, Glads, Blip Gang, Bob Dylan, all disqualified from the formation lap for whatever reason. Now, that means they will end up with cold tyres off the start line. As Glads, Blip Gang and Bob Dylan are down at the back, it's no real issue for them. But it could be for Bobby, starting in P8. Could leave him a little bit vulnerable down to turn 1. I was doing a my team race. I've not done my team yet on this year's game, and I've just started it. I was doing my first race earlier on. I do 100% race, so I tend to save them and then carry on the next day, etc. But I didn't know if you... I've got formation lap switched on. I didn't realise that if you skip the formation lap, you start on 70-degree tyres. I was like trying to get off the line. I had multiple attempts. I was trying to practice. We start a bit and I had about 10 attempts at getting off the line, and I just lost positions every time. Barely get away without spinning. Anyway, that's a horrible, horrible angle. So let's go with P4 Abels here. So all the lights are on, and away we go in Australia. Decent start from all of the top 4, to be fair. Gary up into P2. He's going to have a run at P1. And oh, he gets tagged on the back from Tornado. And so there's a bit of a spin. Just going to affect all the way down, but Poundland does lead in a way. Abels here managed to avoid it, and his P2. Chespin P3, Winter place in 4. Mr. Heat Gang up to 5th because of that one. Let's go to the position changes. Yeah, so Mr. Heat Gang's at 7 places. What a start. Golden Tornado lost 5 through that. Gary down 8. So there's Golden Tornado looking to get back past, stay ahead of Hazer. He'll then get after Mr. Heat Gang. But Mr. Heat Gang is on very much on the back of Maxwell Van Beest at the moment. Moving about and swerving. Oh, Mr. Heat Gang's running wide. And Tornado. I don't think Tornado was really expecting that. And actually, the person who's gained out of that is Hazer. Look, he's got both of them. I've done a little switchback on him because I don't think Tornado was expecting that at all to happen. And kind of got caught out a bit himself, had to come off the power a bit himself. And Hazer just said, thank you very much. That's up 2 places. He's at 4 from the start now. And we got some pit stops coming in the first lap. JD Sunrise decides he's not going to continue on. Both AlphaTauris in, that's never good, is it? Ghost Rider and Glad's both in. So Glad sat patiently waiting for his new wing. Surprised Sunrise retired there, actually. I know it's a sprint race and not likely to make up many positions when we made a pit stop, but he didn't. He only did the 1 run in qualifying, so I'm a little surprised he didn't want to get his eye in a little bit. Just go back out to do some laps, just get his eye in a bit. So, right. At the moment then, Poundland being kept honest here by Abels here. 7 tenths of difference, 6 tenths. Very much within the DRS zone, which will activate next lap. Australia, one of the tracks with 3 DRS zones. Oh, as Poundland runs wide, he's definitely vulnerable. There's a OTT on the old moving around. It's moving around. Should have DRS here, is he? Abels here? Nope. Side by side. I think they avoided any contact there. That's Abels here. But, yeah, I think the movement down the straight was a bit much for me from Poundland. You know, you can't just move, sort of swerve to one side and then straight back to the other. You've got to You know, you make a defensive move. If then when you're approaching the corner, if the guy's not alongside you, you can then retake the racing line. You can't just sort of swerve right and left, you know, in a zigzag sort of way. Opens up DRS. Obviously use this zone ideally just to get a bit closer. Even with the 3 DRS zones, Australia is not the easiest place. So we've got a yellow flag. Baz is out. Is it going to be a safety car? I think it is. Is it going to be a full one? I think we might get away with a virtual there. As Lewis Bauer picks up 5 seconds. Very severe collision. I think we've gotten away with a virtual. I don't think we've got a full one. I can't see the full safety car coming out the pits. So, virtual safety car usually goes for around about half to 3/4 of a lap. And no, that was SC. I didn't see the V flashing on that sign then. I think it's a full safety car, isn't it? Oh no, it is. It's virtual safety car. Yeah, I can see the ones on the left hand side. On the right hand side, I couldn't see the V. So, exciting times in a way, this race so far. Just learned of the yellow flags at the moment. So at the moment, everybody's pretty... they're all bunched up a bit here, but I can only presume that Poundland's probably got a little bit of time on his Delta here to accelerate into. I find with VSCs it's best to leave yourself a good half-second gap that you can accelerate into rather than you don't want to be too close to 0. Right, we are back going. This DRS is re-enabled. Going on further down. Sparrow loses a couple of places, but seems to be okay. Maybe just a bit slow getting up to speed. I don't know how that's happened though, but clearly the top 4 as Chespin's had a terrible final corner. That's allowed Winter Place up into P3. Of course, Chespin with a penalty in a way, so yeah. I'm going to be honest, I think Poundland needs to be a bit careful with his defensive manoeuvring here. It's a bit... Ooh, Amos here goes. Runs wide. And that's another retirement, isn't it? That's Bobby out. Oh, thank goodness he was ghosted. That's got to be a full safety car, hasn't it? I can't imagine that's going to bring out a virtual again. Yeah, no. Full safety car is out. Oh wait, that was going to be a virtual, was it? Not stuck on the track like that, so... Well, I can't really see it changing much. SPK, maybe, with a bit of a gap. Potentially could pit and get back out again before Checo goes past, but he'd certainly get back out before Bob Dylan goes past, so potentially SPK could pit here. Softs. What about penalties? And well, surely Lewis Bauer's got to, because he should get rid of the 5 seconds, and he is indeed. There's the 5 seconds served. Softs go on. Okay, stayed out. To be fair to him, the track position is probably the correct way to go, isn't it? Around Australia, I guess. Considering we might only have 3 laps of racing at the end of this. Yeah. But we saw in today's race in real life the likelihood of safety cars, and well, in today's real life race, of course, the 3 red flags as well around here. But there's no doubt that for a couple of games now, at least, well, Last two, maybe even 2020 as well. Australia's been a bit of a safety car laden race, isn't it? It's it can be one of the races that turns into, I mean, you can plan all you like, but it's certainly one of the races that can turn into a bit of a potluck, to be quite honest with you. You can be riding plumb last, 10 laps to go in a 50% race, so lap 19 out of 29 say, safety car comes out, completely changes it for you. On a restart, a few incidents happen ahead of you, but no more safety cars. All of a sudden you find yourself in the top 5 or 6, and it's, you know, it's just it really can be one of those races. It's a bit of the old potluck. It's oh right, okay, so Golden Tornado's got full yellow front wing. That's quite bad damage then, but he's, despite it being a street track, he's a little bit slow, but it's certainly not undrivable from what he said. And yeah, I'm not sure if Golden Tornado, I mean, it's never easy free wide at any track. It's definitely not easy here, so I think he'd say the same thing, is that he's got to turn in, and I don't know. I don't really know, man, but I wouldn't like to. I obviously have to try and call it as best I can in real time, but it's never easy. So, in a way, safety car disappears into the distance as it is coming in the end of this lap. So, as predicted, it will be 3 laps of racing. Sprint race, and then hopefully I'm hoping they'll give me a little bit of a break after the sprint race, if I'm honest with you, so I can at least go grab myself another coffee. But I'm totally honest, WRL doesn't normally take a break. And then gets away okay anyway. All behind him seems to react pretty well. I don't know why there's such a gap though between 4th and 5th. I only assume Maxwell didn't react at all. It's yeah, you can see that with how Golden Tornado had to lift through that right-hander there. It's clearly got damage, but in a race, you may well lift through that right-hander. It's not necessarily flat out in a race, but maybe in the latter laps when you're a lot lower on fuel. But obviously, if you've got damage, you'll never be taking it in flat-out scenario. Who is it? We've got a yellow flag somewhere. It's Gary. So, superb qualifying from Gary, but it's gone wrong in the race, unfortunately for him. Gets back underway, P14. Say, oh, gets caught. Oh, watch out! Teammate nearly into the back of him. Oh, ideally, I think better if the one McLaren let the other one go then. Would mean, not quite, could have meant that they both lost out to the Red Bull. Of course, no DRS. There will be for the final lap down there. As it stands right now, Tornado will get it as well. And to mention, actually, sorry, I've missed it, but there has been a change at the front. Ableton has gotten into the lead, but he's got a 3-second penalty. So as it stands right now, Poundland would just be promoted back up. He doesn't need to try anything silly. Really, just his concentration should be on defending Winter's place, who's just lost out to Chespin himself. Gonna get him back here, no. But again, Winter's place doesn't need to be doing anything silly here. Just protects himself from Van Beest, and he should end up qualifying P2. Yeah, Chespin picks up another 3 seconds. That's going to hurt him ultimately, but dropping quite a way down that. Nice. It is an easy. Just 3 seconds for Bauer as well, who'd already served 5 seconds in the pits earlier, so it is an easy one to pick up penalties, let's be honest. Lewis Bauer is having a look at Golden Tornado, but now he's picked up that penalty. It's not actually going to make any difference for him, is it? Winter Place and Chespin are actually battling, can you believe that? I don't think I'd be bothering if I was Winter's Place. But, of course, he doesn't want to lose out to the guys behind him. But he's going... Oh, there's contact and Hazer's round. Oh, dearie me. In a way, Poundland takes the checkered flag then. Abels here holds on to P2 in the end. Van Beest P3. Winter's Place P4, very close over the line. Hazer ends up with P5 despite that little spin at the end, so he's done very well there, Hazer. TTV Glads, brilliant sprint race from where he started on the grid. Golden Tornado, so not where he wants to be, but considering he's done the race there with yellow front wing, that's he's not done badly at all. So, hey James, thanks for joining, mate. Miss you too. Feeling a lot better now, not 100% by any stretch of the imagination, but I am a lot better than I was. It didn't help I couldn't sleep last night at all. So, there we go. Anyway, there is our sprint results. Obviously, this would be the qualifying result, effectively, for the 50% race. So, there was Chespin. So, we did Golden Tornado, P7, Chespin P8, Lewis Bauer in P9, Checo in 10, SPK in 11, Heat Gang 12, Gary 13, Ghost Rider 14, Bob Dylan 15, Bobby 16, Split Gang in 17, Baz 18, and Sunrise 19. Will it let me do a race director on a sprint? No, it won't. It often doesn't on sprint ones. I don't know why, but well, I'll tell you what, Mr. Heat Gang, you won't be the only. You weren't the only one. That was a bit of a I don't say it politely, but let's call it a melee, shall we? That was a bit of a melee. That was or a maelstrom, one of them. That was difficult. Glad's lost his front wing 3 meters in. Oh yeah, of course, I forgot about that. So ultimately, Glad's, I think you've got to be pretty pleased where you ended up there, from where you started, and with losing the front wing. That's right, guys, because I know we don't normally get any real break, I'm going to quickly grab myself a coffee, otherwise I'll miss the start. So bear with me, I'll be back shortly with a new coffee. Right, guys, okay, back with you. And, here we go. So, what we got going on then? So, Poundland back on pole. He's starting on the mediums. So, top four starting on the mediums. We've got a couple of hard drivers, Hazer and Glads. Then a big run of mediums from P7 right the way down to P12. Then a couple of hards again, Gary and Ghost Rider. A couple more mediums, Bob and Bobby. Then Blip Gang and Sunrise starting on the softs, so starting down there at the back, that might not be a bad shout. Go softs. If there's a safety car, you pit in away, and if there isn't, you can potentially you can still go to hards, and it's like Sunrise is playing silly buggers at the back there. So, again then, let's go to P4 and start on board with them, because it's not the best view on the broadcast cam. Start this one. All lights on, and away we go. So, again, the top four seem to all get away pretty well. Van Beast goes to the inside. With contact, Woods Place gets a bit of contact from Hazer, but it was only a slight touch. And they seem to be going okay. No, we've lost someone. Lewis Bauer is out. I thought I saw some sort of debris flying in the background, and it looks like it's Lewis Bauer. And, well... we arrived at turn 4. Turn 4, turn 3. Turn 1, 2... I guess it's turn 3 with the front driver when the first safety car came out. I don't think I was expecting much else, if I'm honest with you, but... yeah, I mean, well, look, it's a big gainers already. Look at Bob Dylan up 6 places off the start. He is the host, of course, so he does get the host advantage. I only actually found out about 2 weeks ago about this host advantage. I'd heard about it before, but I didn't realise just how big it is. It's, I mean, you're literally moving before the others, people's lights have even gone out. They do need to sort it out, 'cause it's a bit silly. But, you know, regardless of that, anyway, it's only a short run down to turn 1, so 6 places is still a brilliant gain for him. Oh, Gary is out. How does he manage that? Gary, well, he had a brilliant qualifying tonight, Gary, but the sprint race was an absolute nightmare, and, well, I mean, he's just crashed under safety car, so we've lost 2 drivers inside 1 lap. Yeah, Mr. Heatgun, that's, yeah, so that's the that's what I'm saying, that's the host advantage, mate. It's massive at the moment. It's ideally, you don't want, you know, no offence to anyone, but ideally you don't want someone at the top having the host advantage. But ultimately, let's be honest, the guy who hosts in each league is the guy who's got the best internet in it. So let's be honest, that's just the way it is, and they're getting a little bit of payback now for being the guy that sorts it all out every week, and all those restarts they've had to do and get sorting the grid back out. Imagine all those times they've had to do that. They're getting a little bit of a bonus at the moment with this host advantage thing. So, in a way, Bob Dylan wasn't the only one to gain off the start. Sunrise is at 5, Blip Gang's at 4, Heat Gang's at 2, Chespin up 3, and Van Beest at 1. So, some very good starts out there. At the drivers that are still running, no one's lost more than 1 position, so I think everybody will be slightly pleased with themselves off the start that's still running, to be honest. I promise you, if I only lose 1 place off the start line, I'm ecstatic. I once lost 13 places off the start line. That's how bad a starter I am, and I'm not exaggerating. I started P4, but at the time I came out of turn 1, I was P17. That's genuinely true. That was a race and that was France. I can't quite remember. I might have. It might be completely wrong, but I think it was. No, it wasn't. It was Spain. It was Spain, and I basically instead of at the start, instead of taking me, well, I'm a pad player, so instead of taking my finger off the clutch, I took my finger off the accelerator and kept my finger on the clutch, so I didn't move. And my mate Gaz that was driving, starting directly behind me, went straight into the back of me. He was well pleased. In a way, should be getting going the end of this lap, so it'll be lap 4 resumption. There's 26 laps remain, so a long way to go. Odds on this being the only safety car in the race would be very long indeed. So we appear to. Why have we got position changes going on? Why does this happen? This is ridiculous. Right, Blip Gang gets a 5-second penalty. This AI is causing apps. I'm sure this is an AI. They're ghosted, so I can only assume this is an AI, and it's causing havoc for the guys. Sorry, we've restarted at the front, look. Van Beast's got a run on Poundland. Teammates, but they're going to go side by side into turn 1. Beast gets a little bit of a switchback opportunity. Now looks like Poundland's defended it off. And whoa! Aston flies up the inside. Maybe a bit optimistic there, Abel's here. Way optimistic, to be quite honest with you. But it looks like it's all settling down. We've got a yellow flag for... Oh, that's a Mercedes, right? That's Poundland. That's our pole starter. He's ended up spun. Whether that was a contact or his own mistake, I'm not sure. But he's down to P15 now. Pretty good view here of the battle for the lead as Van Beast, after all of that, actually ends up now leading the race in the other Mercedes. So just been up into P2, Abel's here as P3. Hazer trying to keep himself to himself as best he can. Was P4, but TTV Glads is slowly making his way through. I don't want to curse him, but if I had to pick a favourite right now to win this race, I think my money would be on Glads. But see what happens comes the end. But you can see how difficult it is. Difficult, you know, driving behind a car like this. It's been a lousy room. We have a little bit of contact, but nothing major. Oh, by the way, just to show you, Lads is right there. He's just waiting. Not any rush to stick his front wing in while these two are battling each other. I think he'd be quite happy to see if he can end up with Abel's here. Very aggressive drivers and very attacking. Doesn't so have a go on it at every opportunity, and he's going to come under fire from Glads now. There's somebody there with a bad connection, but it's getting some lag on my screen. But that's how to make an overtake, guys. And Glads goes around the outside of Abel's here. And Split Gang is dropping down. We got a set to 3 yellow. Sunrise is out. I don't know when that happened. That might have happened a while ago. I'm not too sure. But Poundland, by the way, had to pit as well. So he is now not just at the back, he's a mile off at the back. So you're going to need a new wing as well. Blip Gang is into the pit, so I can only assume that that yellow flag was his. Chespin looks to attack Van Beest then. For the lead. Hopefully now, if they could just get a couple more laps, if they could just get 2 or 3 more laps under the belts, allow the gaps to just hopefully, you know, just come in a little bit and increase, because well, at the moment the top 8 are all within 1 second of each other. Just as I say, that winter place drops out the second to the car ahead, but it's still very close. And Glads and Abel's here, they're fighting again. The top 4. Well, if we were, I'm going to touch, I wouldn't want to say this, but if we were to have a safety car free race from here, you know what, it could all come down to pit stops, couldn't it? With these top 4. They're clearly very closely matched pace-wise. And we've got a yellow set to 3 yellow. I think that's Pit Gang. Having a bit of trouble down there on his own. So, back into the pits, so just going on round again. A bit careful with the tyres, and maybe a bit overheated. So that was Baz getting past Ghost Rider. It's P11. Nicely done. And just ahead of us, Golden Tornado, past Bob Dylan, who quite clearly, to be honest with you, didn't put up any sort of fight there. Was quite happy. And with Bob on that sort of thing, if you got a driver behind you that you know full well's really, really fast. You know, I'm not, no offence to Bob, I'm not the fastest driver myself, but yeah, I do the same thing. If I've got someone behind me who I know is very, very fast, there's not a huge amount of point in me fighting him, because I'm going to get past anyway, and all I'm doing is holding myself up, basically. Taking time off of my own race times, so... Of course, it does depend when in the race you are. If it's 2 laps from the end, I'll fight to... fight until the end, but here we go. He's back, so pleased to hear your voice again. Thank you, Mr. Whale. You legend. Yeah, not too bad, mate. I'm on the mend. I'm certainly not 100%, mate, but well, yeah, I'm a lot better than I was even 24 hours ago, to be honest. So, despite the fact I couldn't sleep at all last night. All night. Did Newcastle win in the end, or did Man United equalise? Don't do this to me, football page. Alright, let's turn my phone back on some Wi-Fi. I need to know this. Oh, Newcastle 2, Man United 0. Wilson got the second with a Kieran Trippier assist. What a season Kieran Trippier's having, by the way. What a legendary team. Same that wasn't the scoreline in the cup final, but well, you're not really going away, are you? Get in there, James. 2-0. That is unbelievable. What a result for the Geordies. Get in. Oh, I've got to turn the phone back off the Wi-Fi, otherwise my stream will be rocking about all over the place. Right, anyway, back to the racing. I've got no idea what's going on. This Heat Gang at the moment, though, is clearly battling the back of Checo. These battles are going on throughout, by the way, throughout the field. It's hard to pick one in particular at the moment. Say, with how close it is. Oh, sorry, let's just nip up here. Over's here. Ooh. Don't know if there's any contact with Glads, but say, it really could come down to the pit stop. What point will an undercut work around here? I mean, it's reasonable. I think it's quite a while since I did Australia, guys, so you might be able to help me, but is it in my experience, I've always found Australia to be quite hard on the tyres. It's got to set to 1 yellow. Oh, and it's the safety car. Who is it? Nobody's out. Well, aye. Abel's here, had the foresight to pit. That was a bit of luck. And look at that, the other Aston Martin and Bob Dylan's pitting as well. Stacked slightly, so he lost a little bit of time. Well, he's lost quite a bit of time there, actually, hasn't he? That's it. Aston Martin seen quite a long time. Perhaps they didn't tell him he was coming. Well, no, you can't tell him you're coming in because they tell you to stay out, don't they? But I would imagine anybody who started on anything but the hard tyres will be pitting, wouldn't they? What about guys that started on the hard thing? Are they going to be able to pit to mediums and go to the end? But it's all ask, isn't it? If you take it, let's say we get racing again on lap 13. 17 laps of racing, that's quite a tall order from mediums, I feel, around here. But, you know, I think the thing is, if they can do it, if they can physically get to the end, then I think you just got to do it, haven't you? But, we'll soon find out. Glad's the car directly ahead of us, I was going to say, is on hard, so he stayed out. Everybody else in, there's someone bouncing along there. I think somebody's at the back of somebody. Somebody will be moaning, or driver in front slowed down too much. Hello, Ghost Rider. Oh, well. Thank you very much, my friend. I was already past the pits, I know. No luck today. Well, so far, Golden Tornado. The way these Australian races go, mate, that could turn around. I literally said it earlier on. You're not out of this. You could be second last with 10 laps to go. You're not out of winning it around here. My experience this season of Australia on this year's game is that it's one of the potluck races, to be honest. You just got to make sure you're in it at the end, because if you're in it at the end, you've got a chance to win it. No doubt about that. Yeah, not too bad, Ghost Rider, thank you. And a few people have asked, yeah, I'm still rough, mate, but I'm a lot better than I was. Well, yeah, even 24 hours ago, certainly 48 hours ago, I was still shivering like mad. And I did a race last night. Where did we race last night, Ghost Rider? We did a fun race in Arc, didn't we? Bahrain, wasn't it? Goodness me. I was absolutely drenched by the end of it. I had to laugh. First time on the game for a week. Did a couple of I think I did about 3 or 4 laps on time trial just before jumping in the lobby, and come out on the first hot lap and accidentally, and it was accidentally, I just accidentally put my being on pad, used my finger on full throttle when I was in first gear. Went flying straight into a wall, crashed out on an outlap. That was fun. But I did come from last to finish P4 in the end. I actually finished P2, but fortunately I had 6 seconds of penalties, so I dropped to 4th. Right then, so everybody is out on hard tyres except for Hazer, who has taken the plunge to go to mediums, and yeah, I mean, there's not a lot else. I'm a little surprised. Look at the 2 AlphaTauris. They've already stacked once in the sprint race. They could end up stacking again here. I'm a little surprised they haven't pitted, if I'm honest with you. I know it would be a tough stint. I get that. It's going to be a very tough stint, but I can only assume that they're taking a little bit of a gamble here on that there's going to be another safety car to sort of say. But even then, if everybody else stays on ours, it's still going to drop down to the back, aren't they? It's not. Ghost Rider Pizza. How are you doing that and chatting at the same time? That's incredible, Ghost Rider. I love that that Ghost Rider is 00700. Right, so we're getting ready to get going then. Let's go up to, I think actually Hazer on the mediums. Oh dear! Oh, Maxwell's going to be vulnerable here as he got quite a bit of overspeed coming out the final corner. Pushing Hazer over a little bit. That car is ghosted because that is Blip Gang who's at the back at the moment. Nice racing from these two. The penalties. Oh, that's a Ghost Rider penalty. No, we can't get. We can't. Do you know what, Ghost Rider? He's lovely. Very quiet is this Ghost Rider. Very opposite to you, but he's lovely. He's a good driver as well. He's I'm sure he won't mind me saying he's not the fastest driver in the world, but he's a good driver. Very rarely involved in incidents or anything like that. He's a good driver. I'd be more than happy for him to join ARC if he wanted to be honest with you. I'll be absolutely honest. There ain't many in this league that I'd say that about. So, they change drivers more often than they change their underwear anyway. But, oh, full. Is it another safety car? It is, and well, look, it's the guy who was a lap down who's crashed and caused another safety car. How rude, I'm quite. Really? Now, is that true, Ghost Rider? In a way, Poundland's taking the opportunity to do pit 2 softs. Now, that's definitely that's definitely adventurous. I don't think his. It's quite possible his. He may well pit again by the end because he's last in a way, so he might pit again before the end of the safety car. To be fair, but maybe didn't want to waste wear on the tyres. His end might not be completely in at Poundland after being pole position after short quali, won the sprint race, so started pole position, and to spin the way he did and pick up damage and drop all the way to the back. It's got to be infuriating for him, but you know, it's how you pick yourself up from these things quite often that decides whether you're champion material or not. So in comes Glads, and well, you got to follow him in, Ghost Rider. I don't really think it doesn't really make any difference. You can come round, pick up the safety car, you're still going to drop down to the back. Really, for me, he should have followed him in, just simply because if others pitted, he could have got out ahead of them. It doesn't look like they have in a way, so it doesn't make any difference. But yeah, anybody that could serve any penalties here by pitting? Van Beest could. And so could Bob Dylan. The way things are going, it could end up being one of those races where being penalty free at the end could be pretty beneficial. Just don't know. It also depends on yourself. How many warnings away are you from the free second yourself? So also what you're giving up. I mean, if Bob Dylan pits, gets rid of his 5 seconds, he drops from 11th to 15th. That's one thing, but for Van Beest, of course, he'd be pitting from P2 to do that, and yeah, that's probably a bit too much to ask. It's see, if we were to have another safety car, which is entirely possible. Well, that's an absolute nightmare for Ghost Rider. Now he definitely should have pitted. Oh, that's an absolute nightmare for him. The safety car is coming in this lap. Guys, these tyres have 20%. Oh, they've given you the mediums from the sprint that you must have pitted off of. Because you had to pit in the sprint. Or you pitted onto, whichever way around it was. But they've given you the wrong mediums in a way. That's, oh, good God. Right, off goes Ghost Rider. Van Beast would love to get him from the start, especially with the car behind him on nice fresh mediums at the moment. And he's going to, by the looks of it, is he? Careful, boys, you're both on very cold hards. Remember, Ghost Riders are very worn as well. So, oh, that was a bit of a clatter. Oh, Ghost Rider's round, and he's picked up a McLaren. I think it was Checo. Oh, Ghost Rider and Checo, the two guys that last season particularly, they found themselves right next to each other on track all season. An interesting little battle they had between them actually, but well, they were next to each other on track there, but it's gone wrong. What is that going on with that car? That's annoying me. So why are you two ghosted? Oh, Chespin's out. Lost Chespin. Going to be another safety car. I think he's over there somewhere. Oh, it might be the other side actually. I think he was on over in the gravel. That's yeah, I think it was actually over in the gravel somewhere on the left-hand side, so that's not going to cause any... Oh dear, Poundland. Gone from having an absolute monster of a day to all going wrong. I would absolutely say to him, just keep going, Poundland, because you honestly don't know. Oh, look at this! If Hazer pulls this off, what a move this would be. He's been pushed a bit wide for the Mercedes. He pushes back a bit. If you get round the right-hander, who's going to come out on this? Hazer's car for me is jumping all over the place here, by the way. But, well, fair play to Hazer. He saw an opportunity, sort of did a switchback kind of thing. So to the outside, he got pushed a bit out wide, so he pushed back himself a little bit to be able to make the right-hander, and make it he did, while leaving plenty of room. And into the lead he goes, and he is on mediums. So right now, he has the favourable tyre at this moment. So have a bit of contact. Oh, Hazer, a bit of oversteer. Look at the run of cars, and Hazer then all of a sudden drops back down to third. Tornado. Now back up in a fourth, let's see. Never give up. Glads is already in the fifth, but we know for some reason they put 20% more tyres on him. That is going to make it very difficult for Glads come the end of this race. Yeah, Ghost Rider, you're right, mate. I worry sometimes whether it's me or... because I know my internet's not the greatest, until I could get the fibre right. It's you know, sometimes I worry it's me, and but usually you could tell. But if you're on a driver and he looks like he's jumping around a bit, if you're on a driver next to him and he's the driver, that driver's not jumping around, it usually tells you it's the driver and not yourself. But oh look, the full safety car is out once again, and it's Poundland who's managed to be driving all on his own at the back and crash on what is effectively a straight. Man, he was, of course, having probably the most frustrating race of the evening. Yeah, yeah, not yeah. That didn't go too well at him. I can't remember what lap it was, but it was very, very early on. In fact, yeah, I think it might have been. Yeah, going by the fact he's got 0 lap hards on, I'm guessing it was by the end of lap 1. But we got yet another safety car out. It's a difficult one today. I'll be having a shout of him in the Discord after, I can tell you that. It's going to be one of the commentator shouty days. Particularly these two, who've just disappeared and not bothered to come back. See what they're doing, shall we? What are they doing? They're both Xbox, I should be able to see what they're doing. So, Bobby is... I can't see his gamer card. Oh, and I can't see his either. Oh, what a shame. So I can't see what they're doing. I'll be honest, Ghost Rider, it's hard to see anything else with where he crashed. It's effectively a straight. Even if he did what I've done a few times in the past, is when you go out to the right hand side ready to take the chicane, you sometimes hit the wall. It still wouldn't make you spin round like that and stop there, would it? So it's hard to imagine he's done anything else really. But and here, ladies and gentlemen, is an AI car causing havoc again. I'm going to message those two guys and Bobby. Just those two. Don't worry, Adam. Soon GRL. I won't message, but it's a bit different with this league for me. Right, here we go then for the last... Oh, still 10 laps to go, we might have another safety car yet. Well, because of the two cars that ghosted, there's only actually 11 drivers still remaining, so it means that only one driver of those still remaining in the race won't score points. So, certainly a chance for points for those that maybe. Oh, goodness me. Goodness me. Somehow, Glads has managed to still be in the same place. Sorry guys, when a race gets a bit like this, it can be hard to continue commentating sometimes and know what to say about it. I feel sorry for the guys. Doesn't it just show though, actually, that a lot of the guys that are still out there, Maxwell, particularly, Glads, Tornado, Hazer, not all of them have had their greatest races tonight. Even in terms of wheel-to-wheel fighting and that, but they're still out there. Winter Place, Ghost Rider, Checo, Baz, Mr. Heat Gang. These guys, Bob Dylan himself, of course, they're not all the fastest drivers in the league, but they're the best drivers. That's why they're still out there racing. This league, I love this league. I've been commentating here for a long time now, but goodness me, is it frustrating me these days. I've messaged them in the Discord, Ghost Rider, and the SPK one's got back to me and said I had to go. So I said, why didn't you retire in the pits? He said, because I had to go when I had to go. So, after saying all that, like Ghost Rider, we've lost Ghost Rider, and we got another safety car. Bob getting a front wing change. To be fair to Ghost Rider, that's a rare occurrence, him not finishing the race, to be honest. He usually finishes. So that does mean that all finishers today will score points. Both SPK and Bobby are not in this race. They won't count on the final standings. Yeah, I hope so. Ghost Rider, I can't see what else they're going to do. I can't imagine the front two particularly want to stay on hards. But no, there's a lot to be desired with tonight's race, I'm afraid. It's frustrates me, and James, that is a good question. Let me just have a look. I will answer that for you in just a moment. I had marked down to race, but that was mainly because when I looked earlier on, there was only 8 including me, but I think it's gone up a lot now. Yeah, the 16. It's kind of on the that's kind of on the got a couple of tentatives there. If they were to both say yeah, they were going to race, I'd definitely commentate. Kind of right on the edge there of whether I'd commentate a race, so I'm actually not 100% sure. I could use the stream, I'm not going to lie. It may just be a pre-season race sort of thing, but Ghost Rider. Cold Take gives me something to watch. Yeah. So it is only pre-season, mate. But to be fair, Ghost Rider, if you want, you could probably jump in on the race if there's a seat. They wouldn't mind. You know some of them anyway. The Gooner and some of the others. Whoopee. Is that Brazil? I've only ever got a controller. What does that mean? Hey James, you've joined HRF1, haven't you? I thought I saw your name come up saying that you joined. Oh, yeah, of course. Sorry, Ghost Rider. Sorry, yeah, I forgot. Shouldn't laugh. It's a horrible thing for you and your family. But, yeah. Well, then mark down to race, James. If you... Oh, good God. Do you want me to, like, tag you where you need to mark? Alright, James, I've just tagged you where you need to mark. I'm pretty sure there's seats tomorrow night. If you wanted to race again tomorrow night, you could do that as well. So surely safety car will be in this lap and we'll get going with, what, 4 laps remaining. And I think this is our 5th safety car, so I think this is... I don't think any teams are assigned, James, so I think it might be a case of just pick one. I think if I was you, buddy, I'd probably join the lobby, but just leave it till quite close to the race start before you actually pick your team, or before quali starts, so that you're not sort of treading on anybody's toes with what you pick. So I don't know if people have actually been allocated their actual seats or not for the new season. Get to drive against Massey. He'll be driving tonight. So here we go. Abels here leads the way from Maxwell Van Beest, but Glad's being penalty free. In my opinion, still favourite to win this race, although Golden Tornado on softs could do something about that. There's been some good races tonight, but there's been some poor ones, and it's going to be difficult to pick a driver of the day, if I'm honest, but I think everybody knows my rule. I pick a driver of the day after every stream, but I don't... My driver of the day is always a penalty-free driver, so I've only actually got 3 plus 3, so 6 drivers to pick from. Here comes Golden Tornado. I'm going to look at Glads and look at the... Looks like a connection issue again for me. I'm not going to lie, that when I went on board with Golden Tornado, then that AlphaTauri looks all over the place. But I don't know which person's connection it is that's causing it, but anyway, now we're into place. He's on the back of Hazer. Feel a little bit for Hazer here. He's had a fantastic race, this Hazer, but he stayed out on 15-lap-old mediums. He's going to come under fire from these guys, one after the other, you'd imagine. And with penalties, he's not likely to get any of those places back. I will bring up the penalties, actually. I often don't bother, but just keep it as a surprise sort of thing. But I think tonight, this is gone. But yeah, well, as you can see, Baz has got 12 seconds, so that's obviously going to hurt him at the end. But the others are all 3 seconds. Max has got 8 seconds, so that may hurt him at the end. As I said, when he was running P2 under the safety car, I can totally understand him not pitting to get rid of that 5 seconds. Um, yeah, Massey joined HRF1 Ghost Rider to race last season. He won the championship in his first season, and I would actually argue he's probably not the fastest driver in the league, in the sense of one lap out and out pace, but he's he's extremely quick, as you say, rapid, but he's Mr. Consistent as well. That's the thing. Keeps himself out of trouble, and he finished. I wouldn't like to think how many podiums that guy's had since he started racing, because it's probably a scary number. So DRS is re-enabled for 2 laps as we reach the anti-climax of this race. It's a little bit decent battling at the end here. Needs to play some heat gain. Hazer at the moment is keeping himself in P6, by the way. And because the driver behind him, Baz, has got 12 seconds, ultimately if he lost that position, it wouldn't actually matter, because he'd get that one back. Make that 15 seconds, as he picks up another 3. Well, in fact, I've only just realised that Winter Place has got 6 seconds, so Hazer actually could gain an additional place here. Say, Baz doesn't matter. Baz can go past him. That's not important. I'm surprised he's even bothering to battle this, to be honest. I think I'd have been half tempted to say, well, you just carry on, I'll pick up DRS so that I can protect myself from the McLaren. And he hasn't done that, and now he's under pressure from Checo. Checo's got 6 seconds, so he's probably going to be okay from that as well. I'm trying to work this out. So I think Heat Gang might actually end up on the podium. See at the end, but I think he might do. Still. Tight, Hazer going through. Oh, goodness me. Such an overspeed on the McLaren then. Got DRS here. A massive straight line speed compared to the McLaren then of Checo. Anyway, let's go to the front runners. Abels here is going to cross the line first, but he won't be the winner. Maxwell Beast crossed the line P2, but again won't stay there. So TTV Glads wins in Australia. Look at the 2 AIs having a little like that all the way through the race. Abels here ends up P2. Mr. Heat Gang does indeed take the final podium spot. Bob Dylan almost nips it. Bob Dylan, I believe, at the end there, was 68 thousandths of a second off of P3. For Bob Dylan, P4 may as well be a podium position. That is an absolute blinding race. And I thought when Glads took the win that he was probably going to end up my driver of the day, but Ghost Rider, I have to completely agree with you that Bob Dylan P4 penalty free has got to be driver of the day. There's absolutely no way in this world I'm not giving it to him. Absolutely super drive from Bob. And yeah, Tyrannical Teapot or Golden Tornado, whichever you prefer. It is, yeah, it was. It's, I have a few words in the Discord. It's, so that's not actually our results. That's our results. So, yeah, I didn't just see that. It was definitely P4. Bob Dylan, penalty free. P5 for Winter Place. Beast ended up P6 in the end. Hazer P7. So perhaps did do the right thing staying out in the mediums then. Ended up very good. Did have a good race as well, Hazer. So well done. Golden Tornado ended up P8 in the end. As you said, difficult race that Tornado. Checo P9, Baz in 10, Bobby and SPK. Less we say about them, the better. So the top 10 are the top 10. That's it. The 11th and 12th didn't desync. They just left and didn't come back. So it's them. Ooh, it's going to be too many incidents to get through, I think, from here. Well, I'll get through as many as I can. Checo, thank you very much, my friends. Crazy race indeed. That's, yeah, without doubt, very, very crazy race. Unlucky for you when you, well, I was going to say when you hit Coast Rider. That's a bit harsh on saying it. That sounds like you've done something wrong, but you obviously didn't. But just unfortunate in that moment. But you know, you got there. You did well. So yeah, in a way, that's our Wheelspin Racing League round 16 of the season. I did say I was going to do it at the start, but I did forget. So we'll just have a quick. I've got a little bit of time, so I'll just have a quick gander at the championship there and see where it's going. If I can actually find it, where is it? There it is. Right, so before tonight, just to mention, Jan was actually leading the championship, but wasn't with us tonight, so that's given Golden Tornado the chance. Obviously, didn't take full control or full advantage, and did he finish 8th, Golden Tornado? So that would be 4 points, would actually bring it up level. Don't know if he picks up any points on the sprint, though. So I think Golden Tornado would take over the lead in the championship. No Piccoloco tonight would have been a great opportunity for him as well. Nor Supply Raptor, nor Easy. Maxwell was the next driver who was P6 at the start, so he'd have moved up ahead of Easy into P5. No glitch tonight either. Glad's win will move him up. I think up into P5 actually, so I think Maxwell will stay 6th in the end. And there we go, Abel's here as well on 62. He's going to move up a bit. And Checo would imagine will as well. There we go. That was the drivers. Yeah. Quick sort of summary, guys. I'm not going to lie. It was a bit of a nightmare race. I think we used the whole quote of safety cars, all 5. Too many lunges, too many. You know, Formula One. You can't just overtake every corner. That's just not what Formula One is. If that's what you want to do, go and play a different game. That's not Formula One. If you want to drive, if you want to play Formula One, then drive like a Formula One driver, not not like an insane madman like After the Grid seemed to tonight. Other than that, the 2 drivers that just didn't bother coming back, as far as I'm concerned, just kick them out of the league and just wasted time in having them. The guys that did finish, well done. Bob Dylan, absolutely superb, mate. P4, my driver of the day tonight, without even the shadow of a doubt. Shout out to Glads as well, because you were penalty free and obviously came through to win the race, so well done to you too. Other than that, well done to the other podium guys. But guys, I know it's Australia. I know Australian races often do end up a bit messy, but I've done enough of them, and they don't have to. I've had some great races there, completely safety car free, incident free. Everybody finishing. There's no need for it to be like that. And if the be all and end all. If you don't want to, if you don't want to race, don't race. And if you're retiring out all the time, then you clearly don't want to race because you're just retiring out. So just don't bother. Tell Bob that you don't actually want to be there, so that Bob can get somebody in that actually wants to play and wants to be in the league and take part. So, I'm having my little rant here. and I'll probably have one in Discord as well. But there we go. Anyway, guys, that's WRL for tonight. I'm going to be back live in about 15 minutes for HRF1, I think. If James is going to race tonight, that brings him up to a decent amount. I think it's worth commentating, and let's be honest, as I've been ill for the last week, I could do with an extra stream. So there we go. Excellent. So, say, guys, if you don't join me in sort of 15 minutes for HRF1, don't forget I've got the new league that I'm commentating on tomorrow night, GRL. So please come and support that one, and support me if you can. If you can spare the time in my first race with them, I'll be commentating Division 6 at France. So please come and join me for that one. If you go, oh, not France. Actually, guys, if you're going to be watching me, with me, France tends to be a track that drivers may not like, but actually for spectating, it's one of the best tracks for spectating, I promise you. So yeah, come and watch that one with me and give me a bit of support on that. Anyway, guys, good night, God bless, and I will see you in about 15 minutes.